likes me. Nobody likes me. But that's okay, because I don't like y'all anyway. And I don't like y'all anyway.
We need to pay attention to all this stuff. And don't muddy the waters. Don't let your mind get sidetracked. Because you need to remember that when, it's going to be time to vote again soon. So it's going to be local elections, all this stuff, everything, all these elections. You have to remember that the Republicans would rather collude with Russians than collude with Americans.
Them Staten Island niggas still puffing them dust blunt.
Donald Trump is a white supremacist who enables white supremacists. No lie. I mean, that's accurate. It's an accurate assessment of the situation.
Them Staten Island niggas still puffing them dust blunt.
Dragnets. How do they work? Just say no. Yeah. Here's the problem with just saying no. You can go about your life trying not to do drugs, but you turn on the news and you see Wigmaster over there talking about public health emergencies. That's why drugs are hard to stop. Because of people like that. Big week. It's always a big week. Can't we please have an uneventful week? That's all I want. All I want is one.
Them Staten Island niggas still puffing them dust blunt.
Oh, Jay, why are you wearing that resist shirt? What are you resisting? Bunch of isms and trees. Bigotry, misogyny, racism, fascism, and sexism. The people here are the people on the South Shore, in the rich neighborhoods, the richer neighborhoods, not the poor neighborhoods, are brought up on bigotry, hatred, and classification of, societal roles. Hey, yo! Who's in your house? Dyze in your house. What goes on, peeps? Welcome back to another Friday edition. 6 o'clock. Around 6 o'clock. It's Friday. We are coming at you with background music. It is Dyze in your house. It is the bridge between J Pork's podcast to J Pork's podcast. You know what? There's the rise of fascism is happening so fast that we needed to do more than one podcast a week. So we're out here. We out here. So I just gotta remind you guys, you know how this goes. I'll never ask you for any money. But I do need to remind you guys of certain things before we get into what we're talking about today. I have to remind everybody that you could always find me on Twitter at JPorks, and you can keep up to date with all of the latest Least Coast radio things, whether that's other podcasts, whether that's, my feelings on the general climate of this nation that is crumbling apart day by day, second by second, as atrocities get committed, as the Constitution just gets lit on fire like it was a joint rolled up in Bible paper. This is where we are. So, in order to keep yourself informed and to not tune this stuff out, because I know it's hard to tune, I know it's easy to tune out politics when it's not fun for you. But you know what? If you can just tune in for a little while and pay attention to the atrocities that are happening to our country, maybe we can all together as a nation make sure that none of this happens again, because this is not normal and this cannot be life. So you can follow me on Twitter at JPorks, follow me on Instagram at JPorks. You can also get me on Snapchat, Dyze in your house. Where's my phone? We will snap right now. I'm not snapping right now. We'll snap next week. I didn't think about snapping. I don't want to get expelled from school for it. And that's a whole nother thing that I'll probably get into on the J Porks podcast on Monday. We have a Christmas edition of the podcast coming to you, but this is the final weekend before Christmas. This is what this is. Now remember, there's a war on Christmas. There's a war going on Christmas. Did I tell you I caught some lady in the store the other day? This old lady was looking for, where are the Hanukkah cards? What? Where are the Hanukkah cards, sir? I can't find any Hanukkah cards. I'm thinking in my head, didn't we just light like the 7th candle? You're getting cards now? What, do you like my mom who mails out the Christmas cards the weekend of? So I said, ma'am, there's a war on Hanukkah. She says, what? Are they in the back? She thought I worked there, so I scratched my lottery ticket and left. But there is a war on Hanukkah. Remember that. No, but seriously, Christmas time is coming. People are going crazy. You're going out shopping. And people don't realize that billionaires just made more money. Billionaires. Now, I understand that the tax bill's been voted on, and I understand that every week I talk about the GOP tax scam, and that's what it is. Hashtag GOP tax scam. It's a scam. It's a scam that cons the American people into thinking that they are receiving more money, taking home more money from their paycheck. I was on the phone with my buddy about this last night. Now listen, I just want to set for the record that I have no problem with people who make money making money. You know, I don't, like, people have this general idea that the Democrats don't like rich people. And that's not true. Ask Tom Perez, you know? Ask Hillary Clinton. Trust me, the Democrats like rich people. It's not about, you know, class warfare. It's about there are people that make millions of dollars who got a tax cut. There are billionaires that got a tax cut. A tax cut. They have billions of dollars and they needed another $1 billion. People like Trump need another $1 billion. That's what they needed. And they're over there celebrating. That's what they needed. They needed another $1 billion tax cut. That's what Trump's family needed. And it's disgusting. It really is sad. It really is sad. And you know what? Like, the amount of wealth in this country, like 90% of the wealth is controlled by like 1% of the population. That's gotta be some of the most disgusting figures in the history of life. Not only that, but they slip in the repealing the Affordable Care Act mandate, right? They slip that in. That is trickery in itself. Like I've been saying for weeks, if you want a crappy healthcare bill, you pass it on its own merits of being crappy. Okay? Now we got this tax cut, right? Now I'm talking a tax cut, tax reform, GOP tax scam. What we have is a situation where people like me and you are gonna retire when we get old and we can't work anymore. We're no longer going to be able to get Social Security. They're going to defund that. They're going to take that money from us. Entitlement is not a lazy thing. Entitlement means you get it because it's yours. Like I was talking to my buddy Chach sells cars. I don't disagree with if you have money, if you make money, I'm not mad if you want to keep your money. That doesn't bother me. It's the billionaires that bother me. It's that all, but to tangent off into another point, if all of these billionaires and millionaires that have money in offshore accounts that are not being taxed, if all of those people just paid the regular taxes on that money, our country would have flying freaking cars by now. But that's another point for another day. So I'm talking to my buddy Chach, and he says Social Security is nothing. He says, I don't care about that, whatever, $1,600 a month I'm getting. I've paid like $80,000 into that already. I'm like, so wait, because he was happy about the tax plan. So I said, so wait a second. You said you've paid $80,000 into Social Security, and it doesn't get you mad that you're not going to get that back? Doesn't bother you? And the answer was no. The answer was no. He wants money now and not money later. Again, you're allowed to make that decision. My friend Chach, him not paying taxes or whatever, him paying $12 less in taxes a month is not is not helping not fund CHIP or DACA. It's got nothing to do with it. This is what I keep telling you people. Political views are that. We can disagree on tax cuts. We can disagree on, like, welfare reform and stuff like that. And how healthcare should be paid for. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the rich getting richer, and states that vote Democrat being penalized for voting, like, it's weird. They didn't say that. It doesn't say in the tax bill, states that did not vote Trump pay higher taxes. But weird how it turns out that states that didn't vote Trump pay higher taxes. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that, a weird coinky dink? Don't you find that to be a little disconcerting to the sovereignty of our nation? That's a thing? They are gonna gut Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. And Paul Ryan is gonna love it. Did you see him with his gavel? The gavel fell? That's funny. People always ask me, like, Jay, I saw Trump on TV. He said this in a speech. Why don't you talk about that? Jay, why didn't you talk about what Hannity was saying the other day? I will tell you exactly why. I don't cover propaganda on my podcast, okay? I don't cover that. So until news organizations, and I'm talking of all of them, including my beloved MSNBC that I watch probably 27 hours a day, stop carrying live news conferences from this clown. It is propaganda. Do you see them calling this a coup? It's a coup. That's what they're calling it on Fox News. It's a coup. The FBI and the Department of Justice, they don't like Trump. Apparently. That's news to me. So it's a coup against him. They're conspiring against him. Even though, and let's just take into account, do you remember when the FBI was all Team Hillary Clinton? You remember that? That's when 10 days before the election, Jim Comey came out and said, oh, by the way, Hillary Clinton's under investigation again, or still under investigation. The matter has been reopened. Remember that? Now, the newsflash, that wasn't good for Hillary Clinton's election chances. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. Also, when Trump was on the campaign trail claiming that we can't have somebody in the Oval Office who is under investigation by the FBI, Trump failed to disclose that he's under investigation by the FBI. Paul Manafort's been under investigation since 2015. And Trump put him at the top of his campaign. I'm like dumbfounded, you know? He was literally under investigation. And people in the administration, the regime, they want to come out and say Robert Mueller, who's a Republican, they want to smear him? They want to try to smear him by saying that he obtained documents illegally? He obtained emails illegally? But the Trump campaign, through WikiLeaks, got Hillary's emails released? Maybe they never took hold of the documents, but they were on board. And do you remember the website True Pundit over the summer? I know I probably talked about this on the Jay Parks podcast, but in this 20 minutes, I have a short time, and I want to cover everything. True Pundit is a site that was breaking news over the summer about Hillary and investigations and this and that. And they had claiming insider sources. Trump would retweet them. Big deal, like Roger Stone, Newt Gingrich, all these people were on board with True Pundit. They were all like, oh, did you see this story in True Pundit? Like, everybody knows that the end to True Pundit was Rudy Giuliani. Giuliani is in there feeding them false information because he had like 3 people left at the FBI. So he was getting, pieces of information. And the Republicans using testimony in the Mueller probe into Trump Russia to ask questions about Hillary Clinton and uranium. Oh my God. You have got to be kidding me. Now, I checked with my girlfriend. Trust me, my girlfriend hates Hillary Clinton. I know a lot of people that hate Hillary Clinton. This uranium one thing is not a thing. I had a 13-year-old in class today tell me, listen, I don't like Trump, but you know, Hillary's bad, Benghazi. Kid's 13 years old, and he said Benghazi. Guys, there's a difference between doing illegal political stuff and doing illegal stuff. You know what I'm saying? This guy Trump has been sued. Every block he turns on, he's being sued for sexually assaulting some broad, taking money from somebody, and not paying people who built a building. Everywhere he turns. And he's sitting there putting judges on the court, putting judges on the federal circuit for the distinct purpose so when he gets sued, there's a good chance that he has a judge that's in his pocket. Like the one in New York that said that foreign leaders going to his hotels is not illegal. I mean, if that's not the definition of illegal and unconstitutional, I don't know what is. I really do not know what is. It's insane. It's insanity. And it's something that can't be. Listen, so this Hillary, like, when Robert Mueller interviews somebody for 9 hours about Russia, and then Republicans take that testimony and try to use it to talk about uranium being sold to Russia, which we're not even sure ever happened, which 9 agencies approved of the deal, and Hillary Clinton had nothing to do with. And I don't even like Hillary. I don't want to talk about Hillary Clinton anymore. But that's the propaganda that they spew on Fox News. It's state-run media. Nothing less than that. Nothing more, nothing less than state-run media. That is RT. That's what that is. Russia Today. That's what that is. And I don't care what Jill Stein says. Oh, well, Russia Today is just like the BBC and the CBC. It is, except for the propaganda portion of it. Except for propaganda. Yeah, it's exactly like that. Exactly like that. So, man, scary times, man. This tax bill should sink 2018 for the Republicans. Like Joe Scarborough said. This is going to turn millennials into socialists. And you know what? Good. Because that's a country I'd live in over this. Like I keep saying, my tagline for this life is going to be, if 31% of the country or whatever is on board with the Republicans, then you know what? Maybe we're not worth saving. Maybe we're not important enough to save. Alright. It's coming up on that 20-minute mark, and I don't want to jump into another topic before I run out of time. This is a Times podcast, and I give it to you. So we're coming back with you on Monday with the J Parks podcast. It possibly might be a day early, might be a day late. Got to check what Andy's doing for the holidays. So remember, you got to keep it locked to J Porks on Twitter, J Porks on Instagram. Like it on Facebook at J Porks. You can also follow Dyze in your house on Snapchat. And I also need you to go to your podcast app, right? Take your phone. Open up the podcast app. Okay? Open it up. Search. Search Dyze in your house. When it comes up, hit subscribe. And then you're going to go down to the bottom. And there's a place where you leave a rating, like a star rating. And I want you to do that. And it doesn't need to be a 5-star rating. Be the truth. And you can leave a comment if you want and share it with your friends. Because sharing is caring, except if it's sexual diseases. I'm Jay Porks. Dyze in your house. glad that's over. Another podcast in the books. I'm sure I pleased all those people. Everybody's happy with my rants and raves about society. And now, they can finally take my few minutes I have off of work. And I can have a little fun. Hope everyone liked the podcast this week. Who could not like the podcast? Can't believe that kid said Benghazi. He's like 13. Okay. How does this sound? I'm just glad that I don't have to embarrass myself by doing this in front of everybody. In the lane, bums are pissing. Can you hear the cats hissing? Kicked a trash can. Oops, it was a poor man walking in fascist America. Tax breaks for the rich guys. Social Security, yeah, right. The freeloading old can die in the cold, walking in fascist America. In the Senate we could support molesters, even the ones named Moore. He'll say, I swear I thought she was 18. Fake news scandals galore. Later on we'll perspire as we come under fire. Russia, Putin and shit, maybe we'll have to quit. The rise of fascists in America. The rise of fascists in America. So I guess there's not a war on Christmas.